This right here is one of golf's best iron drills that's helped thousands of golfers across the globe. Have you ever wondered how good players are able to make their iron swings look so easy? Getting that crisp, compressed contact on the golf ball and turf interaction. And we see that beautiful, penetrating flight time and time again. And the best part, you can learn this and feel this pretty much in a matter of minutes. And I'm also really excited about this video because I'm going to be introducing something later on that just makes what I'm about to show you so much easier. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Harry, a golf swing specialist, posting content like this every single week to help you improve those golf swings. So be sure to click that subscribe button and turn the bell icon over to the right hand side of your screen to all, so you don't miss out on any videos coming your way every single week. And just a quick reminder, if you haven't heard so already, I have finally uploaded and published my free course management starter guide. So be sure to take advantage of that. You can find that in the link down in the description below, or just search on the internet harryshawgolf.com. So let's take a look at what all these good players have in common in that iron swings. And the most common one that I picked up on when I was researching and doing this myself was all to do with the takeaway. And in my opinion, the most important part of any golf swing. It sets you up for success for the rest of the golf swing to take place. And what they're able to do so consistently is, yes, keep the club on a relatively on-plane motion, but more importantly, have the club face in the right position. So club face being in the right position here, the leading edge of the club face here is pretty much parallel with the spine angle. What they're able to do from here so well is make their backswing, downswing, holding this angle here, and as they start to rotate to impact here, we can see how much shaft lean now I am able to produce from that set position on the takeaway, but also keep that club face nice and square. If we create shaft lean, that's awesome for compression, getting that crisp contact, the penetrating flight we were mentioning in the intro. But if I was just to do that without moving anything during my golf swing, without having some sort of set or trigger in the golf swing, look what happens here. It massively opens up the club face. So when we open this club face up, it's very hard from there to create shaft lean unless we do something during the takeaway. And that is what good players are able to do so well. Rather than having the leading edge sort of this away, they're able to keep it pretty much parallel with the spine angle. And there you go. If I just rotate now into the back of the golf ball, it's nice and square. So if you're watching this, you're probably finding the complete opposite taking place in your golf swing, where during your golf swing, you're feeling like you're having to manipulate something last minute to keep that club face square. So what's probably happening in your golf swing at the moment is when you're taking the club back, rather than seeing the leading edge parallel to the spine angle, you're probably seeing it go this way, where the actual toe end of the golf club goes behind the heel. So the leading edge is on an opposite angle here in relation to the spine angle. So if I was to return this back down, up to the top, back down, making my way to impact, you can see there, obviously, yes, we've still got a lot of shaft lean there, a little bit exaggerated, but look how open that club face is. We've got to react somewhere in our golf swing, manipulate some part of our golf swing to make this square. So you probably either get a really good contact and you see them shoot off way off to the right, or you manipulate the club face in a certain way that allows you to square things up. But the strike is nowhere near as good, just simply because we've had to do this angle here. Early releasing of those wrists on the way through. That stops you from rotating efficiently on the way down, and that stops you from generating any sort of penetrating flight. You tend to see those higher shots, very weak shots in fact, that we want to be getting rid of straight away. And speaking of straight away, did you notice how during the good swing, what good players do, this device that I've got on my trail wrist here clicked into place. But when I did the opposite, when I did what golfers are struggling with at the moment in their golf swing, who are struggling with that ball striking and iron swings, have a look at that. Well, not look, listen. Did you hear that? Nothing has taken place. No clicks whatsoever. And that brings me into introducing the precision impact. It's a training aid that goes onto your trail wrist and hand like this here, and it allows you to set the club into positions, feel exactly where they are, and lock you into place. So it forces you to know where you need to be in your backswing and all the way into the downswing. And the beauty about this is for those of you who are struggling with that early release at the moment, struggling with that rotation, or finding that you're just rolling your hands over, you get that instant feedback. You get the feedback straight away of being able to see and hear if you're doing it wrong or right straight away. It clicks and locks you into place to make those swings way more successful. Now, I am going to be introducing the drill and talking you through how to do it without it. I'm just saying here that this makes it so much easier to set you in those positions that I am going to show you next. So I am going to use this for the rest of the video, and if you would like to have a look into this in more detail, I'll leave a QR code over on the right hand side of your screen for the next 20 seconds. So now we understand what we need to be doing in our golf swings. How can we start to implement the drill that's helped thousands of golfers improve their iron play? So when I repeat that same motion, what the good players do, and I get myself set into this position here, we hear those couple of clicks, don't we? Look at where my trail palm is facing now. It's facing down towards the ground. So that's a really, really good checkpoint and feel for you to consider adding into your takeaway to make sure that the hands, wrists and arms are setting correctly as you take the club back. So when I do this here and I practice this with the precision impact, of course, I can hear those clicks straight away as I make my way into that motion. But if you want to try this without it, what I would suggest you focus on is getting that trail palm, the right palm, to be on top of this left hand here, and more importantly, facing towards the ground. That will allow you to set the wrists in a way where you're hinging this trail wrist back and you're starting to flex this lead wrist. It'll feel like you're flexing this lead wrist here as you take it back. But all you have to simply think about to keep things simple for the takeaway is right palm, so your trail palm, to face towards the ground. But for those of you who are going to practice this and use this precision impact, all you have to think about on the way back is just making sure you hear at least 2 clicks. At least 2 clicks from this training aid here, and that's going to allow you to get that right palm to face towards the ground. Very easy there. So hitting a shot just with that feel, swinging to the halfway point here, and then just simply turning and holding this angle on the way through is all you need to do, because you're setting the club now in the right position. You can trust the rotation. You can trust that downswing sequence of firing that lower body and that rotation into the back of the golf ball. So I'd recommend before you even move on to those bigger swings with this drill, start to just focus on making sure you get that takeaway right. So smaller stance just for this one I would recommend, and hitting a couple of shots, maybe even 10, 20 shots just to get used to this, setting it on the way back, and then chipping it on the way through. Now I've used a 7-iron there, hence why you can see a much lower flight, but that was very much so compressed when you take a look at the video in slow-mo from the face-on view. You can see there, as I'm making my way down, I'm able to hold the angle and trust that I've set the club in the right positions, rotating the body and finishing off that shorter swing with what feels to me like I've got loads more control, but loads more stability of what this club face is doing during my golf swing. So how we get ourselves to the very top of the golf swing? Using the precision impact, it's pretty simple, because once you've clicked into place for this takeaway position here, you can just simply allow the body to rotate to what would roughly feel like to you a 90-degree angle. 90 degrees being that your right shoulder is pretty much on top of your left shoulder as you make your way into the top of the golf swing, as you can see from this face-on view here. And we can see already how my right wrist has changed its angle. Where is the palm now pointing? It's not still pointing towards the ground, is it? It's pointing the complete opposite way. So once I get myself set into this position here, I'm just turning, and now I've got my right palm facing towards the ceiling, towards the sky if you're practicing this out on a driving range. The key here is though for this, whether you're using the precision impact or not, is getting the palm to face from the ground to then facing up towards the sky. One of the big mistakes I see too many golfers make is they'll try that takeaway and think they've got it automatically set for the rest of the backswing. They still need to make sure that they're holding this angle all the way up to the top of the golf swing. Now you heard a couple of more clicks from this precision impact. That just means that as I'm making my way into the backswing, this is here hinging, my right wrist is hinging a lot more so. So it's hinging more into the backswing. So I heard 2 clicks, ideally 2 clicks on the way back. As we make our way into the backswing, we're trying to hear at least 1 more click, potentially 2, if you allow this wrist to really set back and get that palm to face upwards. Now watch this here. When I focus on getting that palm to face up towards the ceiling, and then I just simply make my way into the downswing and hit this golf ball, we're going to go to here, up to the top, and straight away, I was able to make a golf swing feel like this device here was forcing me to hold this angle here, make my way all the way through to finish. So we are skipping a little bit into a bit of the downswing phase here, but you can see there the low penetrating flight. And that strike was nothing but pure. So the checkpoint you want to remember for the backswing is just making sure that your trail palm faces towards the ceiling, just like this here. If you are at all interested in learning more about what this precision impact has to offer for you and your golf swing, I'd recommend scanning the QR code over to the right hand side of your screen or using the link down in the description below, as there is an exclusive offer waiting for you if you're still watching this and we're in November. I'd recommend taking advantage right now on the awesome discount that this has to offer and all the benefits that it gives you. It just makes things so much easier to set the club in the right positions during your entire backswing and also the downswing. Again, I am skipping a little bit here into the full swing, but just watch this here. So that was my full swing there, a little bit higher than the previous one, but that is 3 shots on the row that I've been able to hit pretty much straight down the middle. The easy swing using the trailing aid and then the full swing there, massive difference, and it's allowing me there to really set my wrists and rotate in the golf swing. And that leads me to talk about how this should work during the downswing. Now the downswing is very simple. If you are using this or without it, it stays very, very similar. And it's not much different to how the takeaway works. So we've mentioned that for the takeaway, we want to see that leading edge of the club face pretty much parallel to the spine angle. As we make our way back down from the top of the backswing, we want to see that ideally return to that position or feel to you like it's going to return to that position. So what I'm doing here with my trail hand is going from palm to ground, palm to sky, palm back down to the ground. The only difference here is I am starting to initiate my lower body to start the downswing. So we can see there a difference if I was just to rehearse this without the golf club. Hand down, hand up, hand back down. Look at how much now I've started to rotate this left hip, my lead hip, back and away from the golf ball. I'm starting to create space to allow for me to continue rotating, stay in my posture, but also, isn't this what the impact position we see all the time with those good players? They're always staying nice and low into their posture to really compress the golf ball. So when it comes to practicing this with the golf club, you can start off in stages. So without it, all you're thinking about is palm down, palm up, palm back down, and hit the ball. So how I would do this just to begin with is going 1, 2, 3, switching on the hip, and then continuing that rotation on the way through. That was a little bit thinny because I felt myself lean out of the way rather than staying down in my posture on that one. So I'm going to give this another whirl, and whilst I do that, if you are trying this with the precision impacts, you will feel quite a bit of restriction here as you make your way down. You can't really take your wrist out of this angle once you've got it set in position for the backswing. So very simply put, for the way down, you're just focusing on that hip rotation as you make your way into the downswing. Now that one there was a little bit pushed out to the right. However, I did get that really nice compressed feeling and also the penetrating flight we're looking for. So putting this all together, all you have to think about is palm facing down, palm facing up, palm facing back down, and turn the body on the way through. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. Nice and simple for you to go away and work on. So how we build this up into all-in-one motion swings is how I always recommend doing drill swings and making your way into full swings, is by starting to really slow down those pauses and those moves in between those pauses. So rather than going 1, 2, 3, 4, take the pauses out and go really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a few more practice swings and start to build this up into faster motions. And then once you're ready, start to really push this into the full swing. Starting off, really, I would recommend around 60 to 70% of your full, and that'll make things easier then to trust it and start to build it into your 100% swing. Lovely flight again. I would say that was around 65% for me, so I'm just going to hit one final shot going around 85%, which is what I would call my stock speed swing. Just like that one there. And I love the feel this gives me on the way through, holding that angle. I mean, I've not even been able to really set my wrist like that in the past, and that's why I practice with this, to make sure that I'm holding this angle on the way down to get that awesome compression. Just to conclude, there's one more thing I want to add in. If you're looking for a guide, a step-by-step tutorial on how to keep the hands, wrists, and arms that we've spoken about in this video connected, in sync, with the foundation of your golf swing, the body, then I recommend checking out the video down below, because that dives into way more detail on how you can do this. You've done step one, is watching this video and learning how to set the wrist correctly to improve the contact with your irons. But how can you set the real foundation in your golf swing and keep the arms and the body connected throughout that motion? Thanks for watching, and we'll definitely, I hope so, because this is a big one, see you in that video right there.